Are you ready? Do you know what for?
I know better than that.
Yeah. Are you ready? Ask your neighbour, are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready? It's all right, we're just going to pray. Like a dancer. Father in heaven. Father in heaven. We thank you for this meeting this morning. We thank you for everybody in the house. We thank you for your presence right here, right now. Father, we thank you for your anointing. Father, we thank you that you would anoint the words that I have to share today. Father, that they would be your words and not my own. Father, that there is every heart open and ready to receive, every ear is open, every eye can see. And Father, there will be revelation of your love and your grace right here this morning in Jesus' name. The church said? Amen. Well, God bless you. What a lovely, good-looking bunch of people we got in the house. Eh? What a good-looking bunch of people. Man, I was talking about the Vanuatu team. God bless our Vanuatu team. It's great to have you with us. Really honour you guys. And I hope you like Australia. Do you like Australia? So much. We love Australia. Well, God bless you. Last week I had the privilege of sharing my heart with you guys as we talked about some big dreams that God has for his people. Today, in our house, is called Imagine Sunday. Right here, today, at Hope Community Church, it's about Imagine Sunday. Now, as far as I know, we are the only creatures that God gave an imagination. I'm sure that a dog could imagine a bone if he was having lunch, or maybe a bird could imagine flying an extra 100 kilometres to get to where it needs to be. But I believe, as far as I know, that God has given us, the only creatures, the gift of imagination. So, why would God give us the gift of imagination? Why would he put that in our heads? Why would he give it in our brains that we can imagine stuff? I reckon it's so that he can plant dreams and visions in our hearts. Why would God want to put a dream or a vision in your heart? Good question, Pastor. Because I believe that he wants to do big things for you. I believe that he wants to do big things with you. And I believe God wants to do big things through you. See, there's three principles to that. For you, with you, and through you. And who knows that God loves number 3? Because there's a Father, Son, and a Holy Ghost. On what day did Jesus rise again? On the third day. We love third day, by the way. So I believe that you were born for more. See, I don't believe that God knew you in your mother's womb and you were conceived for just ordinary. Personally, I believe that you were born for more. I believe that I was born for more, and I believe that you were not born for the ordinary, but you were born for something extraordinary. And the truth is that even the creation of life is extraordinary. If you go out of your house at night and look up at the stars, how extraordinary is that? For a baby to come out of a mother's womb and to start breathing, it is extraordinary. And for you to have an imagination, it is extraordinary. Your life is certainly not ordinary. You might feel it's ordinary. You go through your day-to-day things. You go to work. You raise the kids. You do battle with your teenagers. You try and get a job and have money so you can provide for your family. That might all seem ordinary, but I believe it is actually extraordinary because God has anointed you to do it, and he's anointed you as the only person to be able to fulfill that. So it's extraordinary. Turn to your neighbour and tell them you were born for more. You were born for more. Amen. And you know what? It's not being greedy. It's simply receiving what God has for you anyway. It's not being greedy. You are born for more. Amen. Now, I just want you to use your imagination this morning. If we could just imagine this. Imagine what God would like to do with you in partnership with Him. What do you think, in your mind's eye, does God want to do with you in partnership with Him? Has He spoken to you about dreams of building a church? Has He spoken to you about running a Bible college? Has He spoken to you about loving your family, raising kids? Has He spoken to you about stepping out into an area that you're not comfortable with? Has He spoken to you about ministering to people in hospital? What has God spoken to you about that you can now use your imagination to see what that looks like? If we could just imagine what it looks like to be led by and controlled by the Holy Ghost 24/7. Hey, and I'm not there yet. But I would like to be led by and controlled by the Holy Spirit 24/7 in everything I do, whether it's doing the washing up, whether it's raising kids, whether it's putting the clothes on the line, whether it's going to my day job, whatever it is. What's that look like? See, when you can imagine what that looks like, you can attach your faith to the pictures you see in your mind. Who's pretty good at seeing pictures in their mind? Who can imagine what something looks like? Okay. The rest of us will catch up. But when you can see a picture in your mind of what something looks like, I believe that you can attach your faith to it then and say, God, help me to strengthen my faith to believe for what I see. Because as Troy said, Hebrews 11:1 says faith is the substance of things hoped for and the evidence of things not yet seen. So do you think your imagination fits somewhere in there to be able to see what isn't made manifest yet and believe for it because God gave you that picture, and now you can trust God for that and stand on what He said and what He showed you, and He will allow you to use your imagination to see that come to pass. Because who knows that a picture paints 1,000 words? When God gives you a picture of something, He could have said 1,000 words, but it's easier if He gives you a picture. You see, friends, your imagination and revelation go hand in hand. They work together. Your imagination might hold the picture of what it looks like, but the revelation shows you why it is so important. It shows you what it is, and it shows you how it works. So God puts imagination and revelation together. I don't know if you've ever built a house. You might have seen the drawings on the table, but you can't really grasp the picture from the plans or the drawings. So you have to imagine what it's going to be like. What colour will the outside be? Where will the entry be? What size will the lounge room be? Then the slab goes down and you think, that doesn't look anything like my house. So you have to imagine what it's like to have walls. And you say, what happens when it rains? Then you have to imagine what the roof's going to be like. So your imagination is what the picture is like, but the revelation is why and how and what it does. See, the important thing to remember is this. God gave you imagination. The devil gave you nothing but pain and lies. God gave you your imagination to use for His glory. God gave you His imagination, His heart, so you can see what He can see. Yes, it's true that your imagination can be used for evil or for good. Years ago, when I was unsaved and I was a terrible person to be around, and we had the business in Harvey Bay, and we had a customer who used to rub me up the wrong way and push all my buttons, and just, I'm ready to jump the counter and I'm ready to just clock him, and my dear wife would grab me by the underpants and she would say, I don't think so, because this ain't going to turn out good. And she would literally be on outside of the counter, restraining me from jumping the counter and clocking this guy. See, I imagined what I was going to do to him. And I imagined that I was going to win. And I imagined that he was going to come off second best. Little did I know, my wife told me later, that he was a professional boxer. See, there was no faith attached to that imagination. It was purely carnal. And I was using it for evil. Because I just wanted revenge. And I wanted to get him. And I wanted to make him pay. Unsaved, see? I hope you don't do that when you're saved. But that's a picture of what it is like. See, you can use your imagination for good, or you can use your imagination for evil. And I pray that we're all bent on using it for good. Imagine what it's like to see Abby up here giving her testimony next Sunday. Imagine what it's like to see your kids saved, set free, and going on to do great things with God. Imagine what it's like to see your farm, your produce, your garlic producing double, triple what everyone says it's going to produce. Imagine what it's like to go to Tasmania and meet somebody who might have been on the verge of suicide, and you just lead them to the Lord on the streets of Tasmania. Imagine what it's like to go into a hospital where there is hopelessness and the doctors don't have any answers, but you pray for somebody and they get healed and they walk out the next day. You see, you can use your imagination connected with God's Spirit, and you can say, I'm going to see what He sees. You see, the choice is yours to use your imagination for evil or for good. God gave you free will. He'll never cross your free will. See, your imagination or lack of it can do two things. It can either put a lid on your life, or it can expand your life. Turn to your neighbour, look him in the eye, tell him straight, use your imagination and expand your life. Say it to yourself, if you haven't got anybody sitting next to you. Use your imagination and expand your life. Is there anybody here who wants to live small? No. Does God want you to live small? We're believing for revival in Vanuatu. We're believing for churches to be built. We're believing for souls to be saved. Is that a big vision? Does God have a big vision for Vanuatu? Yeah. Come on now. And if there's anything we can do to be part of that vision, we can imagine being part of that vision, and then we put faith to it, and before you know it, we're partnering with Vanuatu, and we're seeing churches built, we're seeing children get saved, we're seeing ministries flourish. So today I'd like to share with you a real practical example of how God wants to work with you in your imagination. But let's keep it legal and start with some scripture. Isaiah 54, 2 and 3. And I'd love us to read it out loud together, because it's okay for me to say it, but when we read it, we internalise it. So let's say it together. Enlarge the place of your tent, and let them stretch out the curtains of your dwellings. Do not spare, lengthen your cords, and strengthen your stakes. For you shall expand to the right and to the left, and your descendants will inherit the nations and make the desolate cities inhabited. I like that. Now I want you to hold on to that scripture in your mind, and we're going to come back to that. I'm going to share with you just a brief testimony about my life in Hervey Bay. In 1990, your dear Pastor Joe fell in love with an extremely handsome man. And Joe came to Hervey Bay to be with that man and opened a motorcycle shop with yours truly. And as we built the business, we employed a couple of casual staff. And this is very young Pastor Joe, out the front of one of our first motorbike shops. And she's dressed in her purple and green shirt. She was my chief salesperson. She did all the accounting. She kept me from jumping the counter, clocking people.
God bless the lives.
So she was a bouncer, and she did a great job. Pastor Joe was such a good employee that I even gave her a vehicle. Next slide, please. Here is the car they called the Pink Panther. And it was an old HG Holden Ute that I bought for $1,000 but didn't go because we had no money. And we fixed it all up, and I put a 327 Chev in it with 400 horsepower and air conditioning, and she was happy. The coppers kept telling me to tell her to slow down around town. So, that is her company car, and she had a salary. I would take her out to dinner every Friday night for KFC. And if that was too expensive, we'd go to pizza, because that was cheaper, because I had no money. But yeah, she had a company car. And then we went on to build a drag bike. Next picture. Woohoo! This racing bike ran on top fuel alcohol. It had 200 horsepower. It did the quarter mile in about 9 seconds with a top speed of 270 kilometres an hour. And this is Pastor Jo as she began her modelling career. In that sexy lycra. Move on. Thank you. And then, as our business started to grow, we saw the need for motorcycle dealerships in Harley Bay. And at that time, we had a good accountant, we had a good bank manager, and we had a good business advisor, and we had a big dream. And so as we purchased a block of land with a house on it in a growing industrial area, with much stress and with big trucks, we moved the house back and we built a showroom and a workshop for the dealerships. Can we have that picture, please? That's the big trucks. Imagine the house way up the front on the road, and they jacked it all up off the stumps and they moved it back. Of course, nothing always goes smoothly when that happens. And the council inspector was there that day, and we were moving the house. It was all jacked up and we started moving. He said, "You can't do this." I said, "Why?" He said, "The house is too big for the block." I said, "Right." So I went and got my builder, and we went and had a chat to this council guy. And he said, the house has been on the block for 30 years, mate. We're moving it back today." He said, "But you can't move it, it's too big." And Brad grabbed him by the arm, put him back in his car, shut the door and said, "It's moving today, go away." And Brad was the builder. So subsequently, the house got moved back, and we built a showroom and a workshop. But the other problem we had was at this time the street was mostly residential houses. And who knows that people don't like change? Nearly everyone in the street objected to our council proposal. They hated us for moving forward. They hated us what we're going to do. See, when you step out for God, or you step out in faith, when you pursue your vision and your dreams that God has given you, not everyone is going to be on board with you. But the truth is, you don't need everyone to agree with you. You just need to be in agreement with God. Because you and God are the majority. But we knew that Old Murray Road would become commercial and that Harley Bay Council would approve our application, and they did. Here's a picture of the slab going down. You can see the house moved back. And that was the start of something big. Was it expensive? Too right. Did we have a huge mortgage? Too right. But it was exciting. It was a big vision, and it was coming to pass because we'd imagined what it was going to be like. And God said, "Go for it." And here's the slab being put down. Now I know all this looks good, but there was a problem. And the problem was that my thinking was way too small. I had designed the floor space for the showroom and for the workshop, but I'd drawn the plans way too small because I wasn't thinking straight, and because I didn't have a big enough vision for the project, and because I had a poverty spirit on my life. I can confess that now, that I had a poverty spirit on my life. I thought that I had to do it in my own strength. I thought that I had to do it for the smallest amount of money. I wasn't trusting God. I wasn't believing God for the extra finances to come. I had a poverty spirit on my life where I would buy the smallest, latest shoes I could get from the op shop. And I'm still paying for that with problems with my feet. I had a poverty spirit because I wouldn't pay my staff the right amount of money. I had a fear of failing. And that fear drove that poverty spirit where I wouldn't trust God and I wouldn't believe God that He would provide for me because He loved me and He had a big vision for my life. So with that spirit on my life, I just couldn't see what God could see. I couldn't see what God could do. I didn't have the faith to believe Him and trust Him for things bigger than I thought I could achieve. When I realised my mistake, it seemed too late. The concrete was poured, the pegs were in the ground, and my heart sank as low as it could go because I knew that the concrete slab wasn't big enough. The concrete had been poured and the block work was done and the timber frames were going up. So I mustered all the strength I could find and I drew up the new plans and I went down to the building site. And the builder, his name was Brad, and he's putting up these timber frames, and he's on one side of the timber frame, and I'm on the other side of the timber frame for safety. And real sheepishly, I said to Brad, Brad, he said, what? Because he's a bit grumpy. Builder's getting a bit grumpy. I said, mate, I think we need to make it bigger. He said, what? I said, don't be stupid. It's already done. I said, Brad, seriously, we need to make it bigger. And I thought he was going to kill me, that he was on the other side of the timber frame and I was on my side. So I did what every faith-filled, red-blooded Australian man would do, and I handed him the plans and I ran away. It's true. You asked Joe, that's what I did. You could have heard a pin drop on the building site, because all the other workers stopped. And if he wasn't going to kill me, they were. He gave me that look, and I ran away. That's all I could do. But after a couple of days, Brad went back to council, submitted the new plans, it got approved. He got the concreters back, he got the carpenters back, he got the builders back, he got the electricians back. It's like playing a country song backwards. You get your dog back, you get your ute back, you get everything back. And all I could do was just keep out of his way. And when he was finished, he had enlarged the shop. And I'm so glad that he did, because here it is. The shop was another 20 metres bigger, and it needed to be. Little did I know that we would go on to have 3 major franchises, employ 5 mechanics, 2 spare parts people, and a salesman. Little did I know that our business would go on to turn over more than $1 million a year. So what's my point? And here it is. If the vision for your life doesn't scare you, then it's simply just not big enough. You might say, Pastor, I don't need a big vision for my life. I'm happy with small. Well, that's okay for you, but what about the people that you are yet to meet? What about the churches that you are yet to be part of? What about the souls that are yet to be saved? What about the lives that are to be changed because you followed your dream? What about the people that share your vision and come on board with you and their life gets enlarged? What about the people that are encouraged and inspired because you had a big vision and you took a step of faith when all the naysayers said, it'll never work? What about the people that you're yet to meet who had a dream and it got smashed, and because of your dream, because of your imagination, because you moved forward in faith, they picked up the pieces of their dream again and said, God, if this is yours, you can make it work. What about the lives that will be changed because you enlarged your tent? We read that scripture, enlarge your tent. What about the lives that are changed because you strengthened your stakes and because you lengthened your cords? Your covering was bigger because you started to think bigger and you started to dream bigger, because your imagination was hooked up with God, and God said, I've got big plans, do you want them? You see, The truth is, in order to grow both individually and corporately, we have to think bigger than we're thinking right now. Just think for a minute about the lives that will be changed because you personally enlarged your tent. Think about the lives of this community that will be changed because we think corporately as a church, how do we reach this community? How do we save souls? How do we reach the hopeless? How do we bring hope back to those people who have none? How do we reach the lonely? How do we reach the people who are on drugs? How do we reach the people who have slid away from God and have resented Him? How do we bring people into a relationship with Christ? It takes a big tent to cover that. Just imagine what it's like to be a history maker. I know for most of us, I don't know if you're an introvert like me, but I just want to go along, do my thing, not stir the pad too much. I just, want to get along with my own life. I've got enough troubles of my own. But imagine if you were decided to be a history maker, just because you enlarge the capacity that you have to love people. Imagine if you did one act of kindness a day to someone you've never met before. Imagine what capacity God wants to put in you to love our children better, to be better parents, to love people that are unlovable. Imagine what your capacity could be like if you enlarge your tent. See, friends, you and I have the awesome privilege of sheltering people. Do you remember a time in your life where you were broken, where you were hopeless at the dead end of the street and you had nowhere to go and you were the lowest of lowest? At that time, I bet somebody come and sheltered you. God would have sent somebody at that time to shelter you. You can only shelter someone if you've got a big tent. You see, when people need the covering of God over their lives, they need to come into a shelter. And because you've lengthened your cords and stretched your tent to reach people where they're hurting, the larger stakes that you've driven in the ground will keep you strong and stable. You go to a circus tent and you see the big poles and the big tent. They've got big stakes that are, a metre long, and they're made out of car axles, and they bang them in with a big sledgehammer because that tent ain't going nowhere. They got big long stakes they hammer in. You see those big stakes, which is your faith when it's belted down strong into the bedrock. When you've got strong faith, that stops the tent from moving, keeps you strong and keeps you stable. And because you and I enlarge our tent, you have provided a safe place where you can help people to grow. Friends, I truly believe that now is the time to enlarge our tent. Now is the time to expand our thinking. Now is the time to be people of influence. And I'm talking about the supernatural influence of God. This supernatural influence of God, it encourages and it inspires other people. It inspires them to believe, not only in God, but it inspires them to believe that God created them to succeed. God created them to be more than what they were. God created them to believe in what He's showing them and move forward in their life. You see, God has given us the mandate to love people into His kingdom and to lead people to Christ. The influence and the responsibility that God gives to us is there to share the good news of salvation. We just can't keep it to ourselves. We have to share that good news. As ambassadors for Christ, we are called to save souls. We are called to love people. We are called to minister to the people that are hurting, the people who are lonely, and the lost. As ambassadors of Christ, ambassadors for Christ, that's our mandate. We are called to plug up hell and to populate heaven. By God's grace, He gives you gifts. He gives you talents. He gives you the ability. He'll give you the gift of the Holy Ghost to speak the right words at the right time and be in the right place. You see, God has given us longer stakes to drive deeper into the ground. So when the storms of our lives come, our tents will stay strong. I see many people getting saved in our church. I see many people with hope restored. Now, I know that I've shared big dreams with you as well as I've been sharing my heart with you. And some people might say, oh, Pastor Nigel, he's just dreaming. He's just a dreamer. And you know, that might be true. But what if I'm dreaming with God? What if the dreams that God has given me for us as a church are His dreams? What if His dreams that we're talking about in the Imagine Project are the dreams for this town, for the people of this community? What if those really are His dreams? What if God really does want a ministry centre in this town that does what it believes, that lives out what it says it believes? What if this new ministry centre is an expression of who God is? What if this new ministry centre is a place of worship that really honours God, like we do now? Imagine a place where the Word of God is preached boldly with power and authority. Imagine a place of hope. Imagine a place of restoration. Imagine where people can come to be restored, to be rehabilitated. Imagine a place where relationships can flourish. Imagine a place where there's really good Christian fellowship, where we actually love one another and we show the world that we are His disciples by the way we love one another. Imagine the new ministry centre as a place for transformation, where drug addicts have no hope. They've been through every rehab, they've been to every mental health, they've been to every hospital, and nothing's worked, and they've got no other place to go. Imagine a place where there's joy and laughter. Imagine a place where the children are raised knowing God. Not knowing about God, but knowing God and having a relationship with Him. And even if they depart from what they believe later on in life, God will bring them back, because there are seeds planted in the children that are going to flourish even in a bad environment. King Solomon called people to come and help build the temple. And I'm no king, and I'm far from it. But I am asking you to build something with God. Today I'm asking you to think big, because we serve a big, big God. And I truly believe that God has a big heart for this town. I believe that He wants to do something amazing in this town. You can call it revival, it doesn't matter what you call it. But I believe that God has His hand on this town, and His heart is fixed on the people of this community. And we are those vessels. We are those clay. We are the clay that are going to be moulded and shaped and filled with the Holy Ghost to pour out what God's got. And you watch what He's going to do. Is there an amen in that?